January 1st, 2026 is just few days from now. And if you are a business owner who runs a business that is registered as a business name, enterprise, venture with CAC, this video is specially for you. If you are a freelancer and your brand is registered with CAC and you run it as a business name or an enterprise, this video is for you. You are a content creator and you also have a brand that is registered with CAC as an enterprise, a venture, business name. This video is for you. And then if you are also an employee, you work 9 to 5, but by the side, you have a business or a brand that you run, and that brand is also registered as a business name, this video is for you. Hold on. In this video, I am going to show you how to calculate your tax for yourself and your business. The thing is that according to the new tax law, if your business is registered as a business name, what you call venture or what you call enterprise with the CAC, you and your business are seen as the same by the tax law. You are not different. You are not different. And because you are not different, it means that everything you earn from your business and everything you earn from other source of income will be merged together and tax will be applied on it. So if, for instance, you are an employee and you're working a salary job, and in that your salary job, you are earning 200,000, then you also have a business which you registered as a business name with CAC. And that business, at the end of the year, you make 1 million from it. It means that your 1 million from your business or your brand and the 200,000 which you earn from your normal employment job will be merged together and tax will be calculated on them. So in this video, I am not just here to bore you with the theories about this tax law. I want to show you practically how to calculate your personal income tax if you fall into these categories of persons which I have explained or mentioned earlier. So we are going to jump into our Microsoft Excel template where I will walk you through step by step on how you can calculate your tax, your personal income tax, if you own a business that is registered as a business name. Should in case you need this template, you want to use it to run your own personal calculation on your own free time, or you want to keep it so that by 2026, when the new tax law becomes so hot, you can use it to compute and calculate your tax so that you don't pay any penalty, please check the description. I have dropped the link there. Click on it and get this Microsoft Excel template. This template is automated. All you need to do is to input your information or your income in the right places, and this template will automatically calculate the tax that you need to pay per month and in a full year. All right. So, but in this video, let me walk you through it step by step so that you understand how to use this template to compute your personal income tax. Let's jump right into our Microsoft Excel. All right. So welcome to our Microsoft Excel template, and we will be using this template to calculate or compute the tax of someone whose business is registered as a business name. Okay, so I said PIT template for enterprise, for businesses registered as business name. So if you have a business and that business is registered as a business name, or you have a business but you have not registered it and you want to calculate the tax that you will pay in that business, that brand, or that side hustle, this is how to do it. Now, the first thing first, which you're going to do is to determine your annual income. Now, the annual income is the total money you made in that business in a year. Okay. The annual income is the total money you made from that your business, that's your brand, that's your side hustle in a year. Okay. So you determine the income and you put it here. All right. Now, remember that I said that I have provided the template in the description. So if you click on the link in the description, you'll be able to get this template. But the version of this template you're going to get from the description is the automated version. So as you're inputting your income and other information, the template will automatically calculate the rest of the things. So you don't even need to do all this calculation that I'm about to do right now. Okay. But for the sake of learning, so that you understand how that automated template which I have provided in the description, works. I am going to take it step by step so that you really understand how it works, because many of you focus on getting automated templates without really understanding the principles and the principles that guide the computation of tax. But it is very important that you understand that. So let's make progress. So in this case, we are using 40 million as the annual income of this business owner. Now, after you have gotten your annual income, the next thing you're going to consider is what? Allowable expenses. Because your business is registered as a business name, there are expenses that you make in that business that are allowable, and there are also expenses that you make from that business that are not allowable. Examples of allowable expense: this person has rent and utility. He spent 500,000 on rent and utility. He spent 200,000 on salary and wage. He spent 800,000 on what? Advertising expenses: Facebook advertising, YouTube advertising, Instagram advertising, radio advertising, and other forms of advertising. So this is what he spent in a year in advertising in his business. Professional fee: he consulted a lawyer. Okay, he consulted a lawyer, he consulted an auditor, or maybe he paid his subscription. Maybe he belongs to a professional body and he pays his subscription. So all those professional fee expenses that are made. Okay, this is it, 180. Legal fee: maybe he consulted a lawyer, 100,000. Okay. Transport and travel expenses: money he spent on transport, maybe going to work, going to purchase goods that he sell, if he's a product-based business, and all those travel expenses, 60,000. Repairs and maintenance: maybe he repaired the generator he used to power his business, the generator that provides electricity for his business, 50,000. So these are typical examples of expenses that are allowable. So what it means to be an allowable expenses is that these are expenses that you make in your business that the government says you can minus it from every money you made in that business before we collect tax from you. So what we are going to do is that we are going to add up all these amounts to get his total deductibles. So this allowable expenses is deductible, which means you can minus it from your income before the government takes their tax. So what we are going to do, we are going to sum it up. Okay, we are going to sum it up so that we will know the total of everything that this business owner spends in that business, okay, that are allowable. So that's what we are going to do. So to do that, we click here and then we say equals sum, open bracket, we say equals sum, okay, equals sum. So we say equals sum, open bracket, and we begin to add all these things. 500 plus 200 plus 800,000 plus 180,000 plus 100,000 plus 60,000 plus 50,000. So close bracket and we click on enter. And this is 1,890,000. So the total allowable expenses that this person made in his business is 1,890,000. So we'll simply bring down this amount to this side of our Excel template. So we just simply repeat the same formula, and which is just to add everything. So we say equals sum, open bracket, 500 plus 200 plus 800 plus 180 plus 100 plus 60 plus 50. So close bracket and hit on enter button. So we just brought down that amount here, okay, because this becomes the person total deductible, okay, the total deductible expenses. So now that we have seen the total deductible expenses, there are also other expenses that this person made, but those expenses are not allowable. Example of expenses that are not allowable are personal expenses. So you have a business owner, you have a brand, whether it is registered with CHC or not, but you take money from there to buy shoes, clothes for yourself, or use it to solve your own personal needs that are not directly related to the business. Now, those expenses are not allowable. You cannot minus it.
Okay, so they are not allowable. So example is personal expenses, fines, and penalty on law. So let's say you committed an offense and the government levied you a fine. There is a fine on you, or there is a penalty which you pay on the law that you filed. Uh, those expenses are not allowable. Now, political contribution. Your favorite person is contesting for election and you choose to make some contribution or donation to that person to support. Now, that expense from your business or your brand or your hustle is not allowable. Lobbying for contract. There is a contract you are looking for and you have to settle some people in order to pave way for that contract to be awarded to you or to be given to you. Money spent on things like that are not allowable. Now, entertainment of clients. Your clients come to your office and you buy drinks, you buy snack, and you buy things to entertain them. Okay? Such expenses are not fully deductible. Deductible, but it is not what? Fully deductible. So that is why we have in bracket here, not fully deductible. So which means that it is the tax authority that determines what can be deducted. Okay, it's not fully deductible. So this business owner incurred these different expenses that are not allowable. 1 million on personal expenses, 500,000 on fine and penalties, 80,000 on political contribution, 50,000 on lobbying for contracts, 100,000 on entertainment of clients. And if you add everything he spent on these non-allowable expenses, we have a total of what? We have a total of 1,730,000. Okay. Now, these expenses are non-allowable, which means that he's not going to minus it from here. He's not going to minus it from his annual income. So the only thing we will minus from the annual income is his deductible expenses. And to do that, we will come here and we say equals 40 million minus 1,890,000. And then we'll say enter. So we'll now have 38,110,000. Now, this 38,110,000 is what is known as the person's what? Taxable income. So we have arrived at the person's taxable income. So now that we have arrived at the person's taxable income, the next step is for us to determine the person's chargeable income. Note that taxable income and chargeable income are not the same. Okay, so we have determined the taxable income. The next step is to determine the chargeable income. And to do that, we come to the tax bracket, or we come to this tax table here, and we simply say equals 38.1 million minus 800,000. And we say enter equals to. So this 37,310,000 is this person chargeable income. What is a chargeable income? Chargeable income is the amount from which the government can now take their tax from. Okay, so if you see anybody saying that once any money comes into your account, that the government is going to take tax on it, that is not true. Okay, it is not true. There is no time the government will take money or take tax directly from your bank account. Okay, there are some steps, there are some computation that has to be done to arrive at what is your tax before the government can now deduct or take tax from it. So this 37,310,000 is what? Chargeable income. So now that we have the chargeable income, the government can now take their tax from this amount. And to do that, we will now compare between 37,310,000 and 2.2 million. Which one is bigger? Of course, 37,310 is bigger. Okay, so because it is bigger, we will apply 15% on 2.2. Okay, so we'll apply 15% on the lesser. The percentage of tax will be applied on the amount that is lesser when you compare. So 2.2 is lesser. So we'll apply what? 15% on it. And to do that, we simply go here and we say equals 2.2 million times 15%. That is 15% of 2.2 million, and that is 330,000. Okay, so now that we have applied the 15% tax rate, we would minus 2.2 million from this 37 million to get the balance. So we simply come here and say equals 37 million minus 2.2 million. Enter. So we now have 35 million left. So you will also compare between 35 million and 9 million, which one is bigger. 35 million is bigger and 9 million is lesser. So we'll apply the tax rate on the one that is lesser. So whichever one that is lesser, you apply the tax rate on it. So this is 9 million. So we'll simply come here and we say equals to 9 million multiplied by 18, and we say enter. 1.620 million. Okay, that is another tax to be paid. Okay, so since we have applied the 18% tax rate, we'll minus 9 million from 35 million. So we'll come here and we say equals to 35 million minus 9 million, and that will give us 26 million. So we'll still compare 26 million and 13 million. Which one is bigger and which one is lesser? 26 million is bigger, 13 million is lesser. So we'll apply what? 21% tax rate on the one that is lesser. So we'll come here and we say equals 13 million multiplied by 21%, and that will give us 2,730,000. This is another tax that this person is going to pay. So since we have applied the 21% tax rate, we'll come here and say what? Equals to 26 million minus 13 million. Okay, 26 million minus 13 million. That will not give us 13 million. So we'll compare between 13 million and 25 million. Which one is bigger and which one is lesser? 25 million is bigger, 13 million 110,000 is lesser. So we'll apply 23% on this, the one that is lesser. So we'll simply come here and say equals to 13 million. So we'll come here and say, we'll come here and say equals to 13 million multiplied by 23%, and we hit enter, and we have 3,15,300 naira. So there is no other balance to the dot. So this place becomes 0. And these are all the taxes that this person is going to pay. So the next thing we are going to do is to calculate what the total tax that this person will pay in a year. Okay, what is the total amount of tax that this person will pay in a year? So to do that, we say equal sum, open bracket, 330,000 plus 1.620 plus 2.730 plus 3 million, close bracket, enter. And this is the amount of tax that this person will pay for a year. Okay, this is the person's yearly tax payable. Okay, 7,695,300 naira. Now that we know what the person is going to pay in tax for a year, let's calculate what the person is going to pay as tax in a month. That is the monthly tax payable. So to do that, we'll divide this amount here by 12. So we'll simply come here and say equals this amount, that is 7,695,300 divided by 12, and that will give us what? 641,275 naira. So this is the amount of money that this person whose business is registered as a business name and makes an annual income of 40 million will be paying in a year. In a month. Okay, this is what the person will pay in a year, and this is what the person will pay in a month. So I have provided this Excel template in the description. There is a link in the description which you can use to get it for yourself, so that you'll be able to access and calculate the tax for your own business, your own brand. If you have a brand and you make money from it, it doesn't matter how much you make. Even if it is 1 million that you make from that business, in a year, you can use this model, you can use this pattern to calculate the tax for yourself. So the template I provided is the automated version, which means you don't even need to do all this calculation. You just need to impute your income, impute the expenses that you made, and then the template will handle the rest of the calculation and tell you what your tax is.
So now that we have done this calculation and you have seen how the Microsoft Excel works and how computation of PIT is done for business owners whose business or brand is registered as a business name or enterprise, do you really think that this new tax law is helping us pay less tax or higher tax? Because one thing that the taxman, the tax authority, the people who have created this tax law are saying is that this new tax law is going to help many persons, many individuals pay less tax. So from what we have done, looking at what this company earned and what they are going to pay in tax, do you think they are paying lower tax or do you think that they are paying higher tax? Let's have that conversation in the comment section. I want to get your opinion about this. And should in case you need that Microsoft Excel template to run your computation on your own, please check the link in the description and get it. And if you would like to get a full knowledge on how to calculate the personal income tax, we have a comprehensive course which I have created to teach you A to Z of everything you need to know about personal income tax, how to compute it. In that course, you're going to learn everything from computation to filing to the documents you need to keep to the record you need to keep and everything about personal income tax. You also get a full ebook on everything you need to know about personal income tax. You will get this Microsoft Excel template that I use there, and which you will use to calculate your tax as a business owner. You will also get the Microsoft Excel template, which you will use to calculate your tax as an employee, content creator, or a freelancer. And then you will also get guidance from me. So if you would love to take this course, if you would love to join us in our tax boot camp, please also check the link in the description and click on it, do the needful, and you will become part of us and continue to learn tax with us. Thank you so much for watching this video. Ensure you like, subscribe, and share this video with your community. And I will see you next time I'm here.